Movie Time is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio. Further details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.org.
The award-winning It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
I'm Hope Madden.
This is It's Movie Time. What is it? Hope, tell me.
Do you know what coulrophobia is?
No.
It is the irrational fear of clowns. And you know my response to that is, there is nothing irrational about it.
All right. This is the latest of numerous Stephen King adaptations.
Oh, my.
It's called It. And Hope, you're my resident expert on horror films. Does this stack up?
I think it does a nice job. I really do. It's so a lot of people probably remember the 1990 miniseries that was made of Stephen King's 86 novel. And I was, from the very beginning, I was not looking forward to this because Tim Curry played the clown, Pennywise.
Oh, memorably.
Oh, just pitch perfect. And I thought, I don't know. And also, the problem with the miniseries, the problem with the novel is it's told from the perspective of these children, and then 27 years later from the perspective of the same characters as adults.
Yeah.
And the adult half of the book and the adult half of the miniseries is not very good. But the child half is amazing.
Oh.
And luckily, that's all we got in this one. It just focuses on these kids. And they've moved it up to the 80s, which gives it a really fun bit of nostalgia, and they do a nice job with setting it in the 80s. The marquee on the you know, and all the music they play and all the posters in the bedrooms. I mean, it's pretty priceless and really well done.
It even down to having a twin bill on the marquee.
Yes.
Well, we don't have any twin bills anymore. And of course, this is the Reagan era, so you've got a lot of things to be grumpy about and happy about, depending on whether you're liberal or conservative. But somewhere around 13 years old, would you say?
Yeah, yeah.
Kids have so much going on, and one of the complaints about it might be that there is too much going on. But for me, if you ever thought about a 13-year-old kid, there's so much going on in their head. It's just crazy.
Yeah. It's really true, and I think that this is true of a lot of Stephen King's novels. I think in a certain way the point is children are scared of everything, and that's just good thinking. And the deal with this is there's this entity, and it returns every 27 years to Derry, Maine, and it takes the form of whatever you are the most afraid of, and then feeds on you, and then it sleeps for another 27 years. So and in Derry, and it chooses things that are alluring to children. It feeds on children primarily. So these are the main characters are his primary prey, and it starts off with Georgie, just a really painfully cute little boy in a rain slicker.
Hope, I was thinking about bringing a younger kid, but I'm not sure. That opening is as scary as anything in the film.
It is. No, it absolutely is. Yeah, absolutely.
No,
and it's when they introduced Skarsgård, Peter Skarsgård, who plays Pennywise, and that was, for me, that's the biggest deal, is whether or not he could pull it off. And it's a very different performance. Tim Curry's was a bit sillier. Skarsgård really, I think, mines the idea of the clown for all its macabre and grotesque about it, and he's very flamboyant and flashy. I thought he was great.
He eats kids.
Yes.
I tell you, in that first 5 minutes, this little kid peers into a sewer and sees these two eyes. And then the thing starts talking to him. What kid isn't just absolutely afraid of what's going on underneath the city in a sewer?
Yeah, but I think he does a great job as the clown, managing to be creepy and at the same time playing on this kid's, I don't know, interest, and he's like, popcorn, pop, 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 pop. He's terrifying and interesting at the same time.
Very seductive.
Yes, yeah.
In that way. I think I love the group. They call themselves the Losers.
The Losers Club.
And where the movie loses, and I don't know how it can escape it, are the number of cliches that we have to face here. that everyone, there's 7 kids, I think, and everyone is a different kind of person.
Sure.
Except that I do love the girl. The one girl.
Yes.
Is adorable.
Sophia Lillis, who looks just like Amy Adams.
Yes.
And she's wonderful. And they make a great comment halfway through. They refer to her as like, who brought Molly Ringwald? Which again was a great 80s throwback and fairly perfect.
Yes.
But then the lead, right, Stuttering Bill, is played by Jaden Lieberher, who was in Midnight Special a couple years ago. We first saw him in the Bill Murray movie St. Vincent. I love this kid.
Yeah.
I think he's always great, and he does a really good job, I think, of anchoring this cast. But I thought, while several of the characters, the kids, were fairly underwritten, I thought all of the actors did a nice job. And I also love, because it's an R-rated movie, so it's not like the sort of hokey kid banter from the TV show.
No.
And the one, Richie, the kid with glasses, hilarious, hysterical.
Well, how lovable is the chubby kid?
Yeah.
I mean, he's
oh my God,
traditional.
he's amazing.
He's traditional, and you're going to feel sorry for him because, of course, we have the usual big kid bullies.
Yes, absolutely.
And they're going after this poor chubby kid. And as the camera watches him, he has some very fine reactions.
He does, yeah.
Even where you think he might have a chance with a girl.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the character stock are really very well defined for the time that they're given.
I think so too. I think the performances are really what makes it work.
Oh,
I
gosh.
thought all of the children actors were really, really strong.
Now, you're right to center on the kids because the people who don't come off well in this movie are the adults.
Well, they're weirdly drawn. They're very one-dimensional, and well, villainous. Really,
Oh
there's
my
something wrong. There's something creepy with all of the adults in town.
And I'll tell you, Hope, I wonder if they selected a father who looked just like Clint Eastwood. He is the father who preys on the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
This is, to me, the most serious part of the film.
It's the toughest part of the book, I'll tell you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And the rest of them, you just have the chubby mom who just doesn't listen, just doesn't understand.
Well, she to me is the overprotective to the degree that she's actually lying to her son about all of his ailments to try to keep him in the house. They all of the parents, those that exist in the movie, are villainous in their own way.
Yeah.
Are obstacles to their children's sort of success and happiness.
And isn't that true? I mean, this is where King is so brilliant. You know, he expands, he hyperbolizes
Yeah, he does.
all of these fears that kids have. But all kids are set up against their parents at one point or another.
Well, you have to be to sort of fight your way to adulthood,
Yes.
whether it's true or not. You I think have to take that stance. My issue always with Stephen King adaptations is that he writes too much. It gets unwieldy, and he doesn't end well. And to me, a lot of his dialogue is very hokey, very main, hokey, unrealistic. So for his films to make a good leap to the screen, it really requires strong writers and a strong director. And the movie that this reminds me the most of is Rob Reiner's Stand By Me.
I knew you were
which
going
is
to say
one
that.
of the best.
Yeah, boy. Oh.
And I think that the writers for this, and among them was Cary Fukunaga, who wrote and directed Beast of No Nation.
Okay.
So understands how to put children in peril. And I think it's very well written. I think a couple of the characters, the minority characters, in keeping with the themes of the 80s, are very underwritten. But beyond that, I think that they do a very good job of streamlining King's prose and then updating it to the degree that we're in the 80s instead of the 60s.
Agreed. And one of the other themes, and King always has several themes.
Yes.
And one of the theme besides fear for me is the importance of collective action.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that is, again, like Stand By Me, like a lot of it, it's an important theme in a lot of his work.
Yeah, and when you think of how contemporary that is, wherever your political leanings might be, it's probably important for you to join with others to combat those things that you're not happy about. We as Americans have so for such a long time stressed individuality that I love when films like this say, look, we can't do this
We're
alone.
stronger together.
We are stronger together. And that's not socialism in any sense. That's just simply smart.
It is, especially in a horror movie. It's a common theme in horror movies, because the first thing you got to do is split them up. You got to split them up to pick them off.
As I said in my review, the one thing we all know,
That's right.
do not do that.
No.
Do not go away.
No.
Even to pee in the woods.
That's right.
Do not
no,
do this.
never. Never. And you know what else? Don't talk to clowns.
No.
It's just good advice.
One of the one of the frustrations of this film is there's not a whole lot of backstory
No.
on the clown. But
Oh, no. And my guess is you're going to get more of it in the second part because there will be a second part.
Yeah.
And the limited amount of information that this movie gives, for me, is stronger than at least the way it's presented, at least the way they come up with the story in their own heads as the kids. It's stronger than what he does in the book, which is just goofy, and it's stronger than what they did in the miniseries. So again, I think the writing in this adaptation is pretty strong.
I was very happy with that little tableau in the sewer about him and the old days when he was a clown, and you could see what his frustration was. It all worked very well, but fleeting, way too much.
It's true.
We're going to get complaints that there's not enough development, and that's probably true because part of your point is King just does stuff. This with so many different characters and ideas.
It goes on and on and on and on. Which is what, for me, makes his book so frustrating, is because you wade through 1,300 pages and then you're like, oh, that's right, he doesn't end well, I forgot.
Well, ours is a short show, nothing stuffed here. The film is the adaptation of Stephen King's It. Hope Madden, what grade would you award it?
B.
And I'm going to award it a very solid B as well, which means you will be happy if you go to see it.
I think so too.